Hello and welcome back to Road TRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today's episode is number 909 and today's 21-question trivia quiz was sent in by longtime viewers of the channel, Jeannie and Dave. They sent this in about a month ago. I've kind of been waiting for the right time to use it. I figure this week is as good as any. Thank you, Jeannie and Dave, for sending this in. It's a great quiz. It's by George. 21 questions. The answer will be somebody named George. Question number 1. Dubbed the Dean of Counterculture, what was the name of the American actor, author, and social critic regarded as one of the most influential stand-up comedians of all time, who was most famous for his 7 dirty words routine? The answer is George Carlin. Question number 2. Throughout his career, he has received many Academy Award nominations, and as of 2022, has won 2. What Hollywood star won Oscars for Best Supporting Actor for 2005's Syriana, and as a co-producer of 2012's Best Picture winner, Argo? That George is George Clooney. Question number 3. Most famous for his inventions that brought photography to the mainstream, who was the American entrepreneur that invented a handheld camera and the easy-to-use roll film that went with it, as well as bromide paper, which became a standard of the film industry? His name was George Eastman of the Eastman Kodak Company. Question number 4. While a professor at the Tuskegee Institute, what was the name of the agricultural scientist and inventor that promoted alternative crops to cotton, such as peanuts, as a method to prevent soil nutrients depletion? His name was George Washington Carver. Question number 5. One of the few entertainers whose career successfully spanned vaudeville, radio, film, and television, what was the name of the American actor who was famous for his arching eyebrows and constant cigar smoking that died shortly after turning 100 years old in 1996? The answer is George Burns. Question number 6. English novelist Eric Arthur Blair used what nom de plume when he wrote his popular stories about the dystopian future, like 1949's 1984, and his political allegories like 1945's Animal Farm? Eric Arthur Blair went by George Orwell. Question number 7. As a child, this actor lived with his parents in a U.S.-run internment camp during World War II. What is the name of the actor who is internationally known for his role as Hikaru Sulu, helmsman of the fictional starship USS Enterprise on the television series Star Trek and subsequent films? The role of Sulu was played by George Takei. Question number 8. Playing 22 seasons total from 1914 through 1935, what is the real name of the slugger that was traded from the Boston Red Sox to the New York Yankees, setting in motion a storybook career for him and an 86-year championship drought for Boston? They called him Babe Ruth, but his real name was George Herman Ruth. Question number 9, portrayed by Jason Alexander. What is the character name of Jerry Seinfeld's short and stocky bald friend who is insecure and mildly neurotic in both his business and personal relationships and has always wanted to pretend to be an architect? In the show, his name is George Costanza. Question number 10. Although he cannot seem to help getting in trouble all of the time, his friend in the yellow hat always saves the day and forgives him. What is the name of this little African monkey from the series of popular children's books by Margaret and H.A. Ray? That little monkey is called Curious George. Question number 11. He became King of England when his brother abdicated the throne to marry an American actress. What was the name and number of the father of Queen Elizabeth II, whose life story was dramatized in the 2010 film The King's Speech? The answer is King George VI. Question number 12. What is the name of the former professional boxer, entrepreneur, minister, and author that, as a boxer, is a two-time world heavyweight champion and an Olympic gold medalist, and as an entrepreneur, is known as the spokesman of a popular grill? The answer is George Foreman. Question number 13. Before he became a real force in Hollywood with his epic space opera, he directed the coming-of-age film American Graffiti. What is the name of the man who also founded Industrial Light and Magic, the company that basically pioneered CGI in movies? American Graffiti, Star Wars, and Industrial Light and Magic. The answer, George Lucas. Question number 14. One of this cartoon character's most popular catchphrases was, "Jane, stop this crazy thing." What is the name of the husband and father who lived with his wife, 2 children, and Rosie the robot in a space-age version of the Flintstones? His name, George Jetson, from the Jetsons. Question number 15. His success began with his first single, Unwound, came out in 1981, and before that decade ended, 7 of his albums reached number 1 on the country charts. What is the name of this pure country musical artist who is affectionately known as the King of Country? The King of Country is George Strait. Question number 16. Andrew Ridgeley's musical partner during the 1980s. What was the name of the pop singer-songwriter who went on to a solo career in 1987 with the album Faith, and is considered one of the most significant cultural icons of the MTV generation? Andrew Ridgeley was the other half of the duo Wham. The name we're looking for is George Michael. Question number 17. Another popular 1980s musician What was the stage name of the English singer, songwriter, DJ, fashion designer, photographer, and record producer who was the lead singer of the pop band Culture Club? The lead singer of Culture Club was Boy George. Question number 18, referred to as the American Tolkien. What is the name of the popular author of the series of epic fantasy novels, A Song of Ice and Fire, which was adapted into the Emmy Award-winning HBO series Game of Thrones? His name, George R.R. Martin. Question number 19. Along with his brother Ira, he composed the music for An American in Paris and Porgy and Bess. What was the name of the American composer who is best known for his Rhapsody in Blue? The answer is George Gershwin. Question number 20. Although we never even saw the mountain that was named after him, who was the Surveyor General of India who died in 1866 that the highest mountain in the world was named after? Because of the name of this trivia, you should know that his first name is George, and the highest mountain in the world is Everest. George Everest is the answer to number 20. And that is it for today. Thank you for watching today's episode of Road TRIpVIA. Thank you again to Jeannie and Dave. Like I said, they sent this in. They actually sent in, I think it was about 26 different Georges with some good hints to go along with them. I narrowed it down to the 21 that I was most comfortable with, that I knew the most about. I had a great time reading through on this on the first one, because whenever somebody sends me a quiz, I always try to play it like I am a viewer of the channel, and I don't get to play as much trivia as you would think that I do. So whenever somebody sends me a quiz, that gives me an opportunity to actually play trivia. I enjoyed this one. It was a great one. It fits right in with our other name trivia and fits right in with our daily trivia, and like I said, was a perfect week to do it. So thank you again, Jeannie and Dave. Hopefully everybody else enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed playing it, and hopefully you enjoyed writing it. Here is question 21, the tiebreaker for By George Trivia. What are the full names of the only 3 U.S. presidents whose first names are George? The answer: George Washington, George Herbert Walker Bush, and George Walker Bush. If you said George Bush Sr. and George Bush Jr., I don't know if they're I would count it. I would count that. The 2 George Bushes and the 1 George Washington, that's the answer we're looking for. Thank you again for playing. Thank you again, Jeannie and Dave, for sending it in. Check back tomorrow for another new trivia quiz. I believe tomorrow is Tuesday. Tomorrow will be a brainy Tuesday. See you then. If you're still here, this is what my current setup looks like. I'm set up at the Homewood Suites by the Hilton Grand Rapids downtown. I'm in Michigan all week. I've got my little studio set up in the hotel room. This is where I'm recording from all week. So special thanks to Grand Rapids Hilton Downtown for being the unofficial sponsor and location of this week's Road TRIpVIA show. See you tomorrow.